Now let's go for this story. I hear the people I'll be talking to on the phone are ready to contribute to us. Let me find out the writer of this story. Maybe we might get a different name, or it is still going to be the same name. Okay. According to the story, it was compiled by Ghana Weekend, and I want to believe Ghana Weekend, they have so many writers, not only Kwame Dazi, but Kwame Dazi will be speaking to us on that. And the story says, top 10 comedians in Ghana at the moment. Top 10 comedians in Ghana at the moment. So this is more or less like a rating. Let's read. A few years ago, there were a lot of people who claimed Ghanaians, and for that matter, Ghanaian comedians were not funny. In fact, there are still some people who believe that the average Ghanaian does not have a good sense of humor. At a time when Nigerian comedians had become the staple of comedy for the Ghanaian comedy market, it was very difficult for Ghanaian comedians to be accepted on comedy platforms. After the slapstick comedy, the concert party type era, some of our young comedians started doing comedy in English. We had David Oscar, Foster Romanus, DKB, Percy, and a few others plowing that turf. Now, what they did was not totally new, though. Fritz Balfour, Tommy Anand Forsen, Kweku Sinti Misa, and a few others had been in that league too. But David Oscar and his squad were not liked. They could not impress the ordinary Ghanaian who was used to the Nigerian comedy. This, however, did not discourage the Ghanaian comedians. David Oscar and his friends took up the challenge and kept organizing their own shows to prove to people they could do it. Today, Ghana can boast of having some pretty good comedy talents. Ghanaian comedians can travel to Nigeria and crack up a whole audience. Event organizers have gained some confidence in the Ghanaian comedian that they can build them on shows and still have positive impact or positive feedback. In this piece, GhanaWeekend.com presents the top 10 comedians who are making great strides in the Ghanaian comedy industry at present. This list is premised on the general performance of the comedians, their visibility on the comedy market, and the clout they wield, among others. So let's go for number 1, according to GhanaWeekend.com. All right, so let's read something here. According to GhanaWeekend.com, this is what makes this person here number 1. His name is Obi Amponsan. Now it says, Obi Amponsan, an optometrist by training, has suddenly become the toast of the Ghanaian comedy market. He has an unparalleled wit that puts him ahead of his colleagues. His performance at the Lords of the Rips in Nigeria in 2019 won him a lot of space. He has also been on shows like December to Remember, Night of Laughs, Easter Comedy Show, among others. Obi staged his own show dubbed Voices in My Head in December 2019 and is here to stage another one titled Political Refugee, a concept born out of the backlash he received after he had made a joke at December to Remember that the name Mahama meant corruption. He is number 1.
Everything's gonna be okay. Hold on.
All right, so let's move on to number 2 according to GhanaWeekend.com. Now this one says Clemento Suarez. Unlike Obi, Clemento Ashite, known in showbiz as Clemento Suarez, does more of stage comedy. He is a comic actor who has also earned a place for himself in that field. Clemento Suarez professionally started comedy in 2011 after doing a lot of pro bono work. He has worked with creative directors like Lateef Abubakar, who brought the best out of him. Clemento has featured in KJTR vs. Mokola series for TV in Ghana. Now, Clemento has also featured in plays such as Gallery of Comedy, Thank for Idiots, Romantic Nonsense, Sweet Dreams and Nightmares, What Can Come, Flagstaff House, Malams and Pastors, I Can't Think Far, among a blizzard of others, including TV commercials. This is still Showbiz Agenda, looking at the story from GhanaWeekend.com. Now let's move on to number 3. And number 3, DKB is here. Born Derry Kobna Bonny, DKB shot to fame after his slapping incident at the Big Brother Africa in 2012. He latched onto that and soon became a household name. Even though he had also been doing stand-up comedy before the BBA incident, his comedy brand got more activated later. Now, DKB has performed on a lot of comedy shows in Ghana and outside the country as well. He is also a preferred choice of an MC for a lot of events. Even though he had been named the king of comedy by Ace satirist KSM, the new wave of comedy seems to have placed him below the aforementioned. He has a monthly comedy show called Comedy Express, and that was DKB at number 3. Once again, according to this list compiled by GhanaWeekend.com, this one is number 4, and number 4 mentions Lexi the Comic. Lexi is another brilliant comedian Ghana can boast of at the moment. He has his own comedy show called Laugh Line. Lexi was awarded the best comedian during the 2017 People's Celebrity Awards after he had been awarded the Emerging Comedian of the Year during the 2016 Comedy Choice Awards. Born Emmanuel Nkansa, the comedian is a graduate of the Takrady Technical University. Lexi, whose father has always wanted him to become a medical doctor, is also a graphic designer by profession. That was number 4. Now let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is Mebusem. Mebusem is number 5. Born Justice Hymns, Mebusem has been in the local language movie industry for a long time. His breakthrough came when he started doing skits with the Jesus character. His great sense of humor and creativity got people to like him. He has so far appeared on a couple of music concerts to put up hilarious skits, and that was number 5. So well to be counted among the top 10 comedians in Ghana. Now let's move on to number 6. And number 6 we have Foster Romanus. You can remove everything from R, O, and M, and the next word you see there, you can still use that to refer to Foster. Now, Foster Amponsa, widely known as Foster Romanus, is an actor and a stand-up comedian. He is also one of the few comedians who championed the revival of stand-up comedy during its difficult times. He came second to David Oscar in the maiden edition of Stars of the Future reality show. He has since mounted bigger stages in Ghana and outside the country. Also the host of late night celebrity show on ETV Ghana, Romanus runs his own comedy event called Romanus Incomplete. Now this will take us to number 7, and number 7 is a lady, Jacinta. Now this one says the only stand-up comedian in Ghana. She is one of the funniest in the country, and despite the fact that the business is male dominated, she has been able to get through. Jacinta is of both Ghanaian and Nigerian descent, started comedy when she was 19. She recounts that she was first given the platform to perform by Bucci. Her perfect understanding of both the Ghanaian and Nigerian cultures gives her a background to her awesome performances. Just like her male counterparts, Jacinta has mounted almost all the big comedy platforms in Ghana. She has also had some successful gigs in other countries as well. Is it true that there was a fake Tenny somewhere in the northern region going for radio interviews and the people could not identify her? I don't want to believe that story is true. Now let's go to number 8. Number 8 is Teacher Kwajo. A teacher by profession, Teacher Kwame, real name Michael Owusu Afriye, has been able to win the hearts of people with his funny clips on YouTube. He usually does skits that satirically tackle trending issues. What makes his stand out is his unfettered command over the Tree language and the use of rich Akan proverbs in his presentation. Also a rapper, Teacher Kwajo was featured on Ghana, a song by 2Ks, which also had Clemento Suarez. He currently hosts a segment on UTV's United Showbiz program. Okay, so that's the name of the program, United Showbiz program. Now number 9 is Chemical. Yeah. Now, Chemical Daniel Selassie, known in the comedy world as Chemical, is arguably one of the biggest names in the stand-up comedy business. He has hosted a lot of comedy shows, something which earned him the best comedy event host tag by ace comedian Kweku Sintim Misa. He has performed at shows such as KSM at 50, A Touch of Class, December to Remember, A Night of 1021 Laughs and Music, the Easter Comedy Show, among others. He has also been featured on high-profile concerts in Ghana as well. Our man Sarkod here doing it like nobody's business on this song. Now let's move on to the very last person according to this list, and this person is comedian Warris. Now Warris, although new, is gradually ensconcing himself in the game. He has performed at Easter Comedy Show, Crack Ribs, Comedy Express, among others. Ghana is blessed with other comedians such as Augustine Dennis, comedian Agla, Lewin, lawyer Inti, Acrobato, Hogan, Afia Schwarzenegger, General Ntetia, Funny Face, Bismarck the Joke, Calibos, among others. Even though Ghanaian comedy has not gotten to the top, the recent signs of the progress should not be glossed over. These Ghanaian comedians need to be supported as they continually are urged to hone their craft so as to get better. This is the story. Now, after the publication, I'm sure comedian DKB also saw the story, read it, understood every word in there, and he also posted this out. He said, "If I talk, they say DKB talks too much. But how can you, a journalist, not be objective in your submission and rather try to discredit me? What at all do some Ghanaians want from me? If you can't praise me without finding some stupid excuses, don't praise me at all." And he quotes a statement that was published in his piece, that even though he had been named the king of comedy by a satirist KSM, the new wave of comedy seems to have placed him below the aforementioned. And he writes that DKB comes again and he says, "It has placed me below your mother." And he added another word. I'm going to spell it for you. Be quick to pronounce it. KWASIABA. That is what DKB added. Okay, so who is ready on the phones? Mr. Now, not a pro.
Oh, I don't like a canaba.
Wanonaba. Okay, first of all,
the criteria for making the list is what I don't get, because we have a mix. Some are actors.
The criteria is in the preamble of the feature or the article, and the preamble says, in this piece, GhanaWeekend.com presents the top 10 comedians who are making great strides in the Ghanaian comedy industry at present. This list is premised on the general performance of the comedians, their visibility on the comedy market, and the clout they wield, among others. That is the definition. Okay, let's come back to the studio once again. Mr. Na,
yes, comedians. It's a mix. It's a mixed bag. And some of them. Okay, so we have a mix of stand-ups, we have actors, and
in this particular top 10.
Yes, in this particular top 10.
Okay.
Stage.
So are you trying to say some of them don't even qualify to be in this top 10? Is that what you want to say?
And I mean, say some of them. Well, whether it's just for the stand-up guys or for comedians. Okay, fine. So let's leave it at that. Comedians. DKB.
Energy now the French, but I didn't expect this attitude on air.
Brasa young comrade.
Met a beautiful lady from the province of Mpumalanga, somewhere in South Africa, gave him taste, and after that he composed a song for her, and we are enjoying it. Kwame Dazi, good morning. Hello, bro. Kwame, good morning. Daisy. Rather is Ibokode. Rather is in Timinka. Rather is in Timinka. And the moment in Pumalanga home right. And our ba. Dabi. Soon energy. Bra. Yeah, energy na Mr. Nano di nature hono. Hey, a boxing ring ni ma unwana. Ne ko to just start here.
Okay, say Shatta Nyumbi or say Nyumbi or Tumika bia na onre. Tumika sorry.
So I'm gonna cry.
Time no day.
Is it time no day?
Yeah, or live be time. In the tiny.
Oh, okay.
They carry that song.
Yeah, they carry that song. Shatta Killam. Yeah, Charlie. Shatta be serious songwriter.
Anyway, so it's for stand-up comedians, Anna.
He says comedy.
If it's comedy, then the list is okay. But if it's for stand-up comedians, Mebusem. I don't know where Mebusem will fit in a list of stand-up comedians.
The story or the feature, or better still, the article never mentioned stand-up. It said comedy industry in general.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mebusem can be in there. I think the list is fairly fair. Yeah, if he's looking at what's been transpiring lately, the guys on top, the guys who have all the media space, having headlines about them and all, no. I think the list is very, very fair. Obi and Ponsa undoubtedly is one of the loudest.
Hold it, I beg you. Go back again to your notes and let me clear this before we come back to it. Yes, Kwame, welcome. Hello, Kwame Dazi. Hello, Kwame. Hello, Kwame Dazi. Hello. Ora Dazi. Hey. Ora wa humani so maintaining ka. Ora Dazi. Okay, let me say Ora she corner bia okasa emba. Brian Twaso.
Good. So Obi and Ponsan being on top, I think he deserves that spot. Followed by Clemento. Yes, Clemento deserves to be there. The DKB number 3, and he's still angry. I don't know if he's angry because of the position he finds himself, or because he's not given a certain topmost accolade as one of the guys who fought for the comedy industry. I mean, contemporary or latest generation of comedians. And if we're even talking about the latest generation of comedians, we should always give utmost respect to David Oscar. He's one guy they should respect, like every now and then, no matter the state of his career now, no matter the state of his his comedy life, they should always give him that respect because he stood for comedy. He fought for comedy himself. DKB, I think Foster Romanos also joining at a point. These guys really, really did a lot for the current crop of comedian, Obi and his people. So when they feel they are being sidelined, then it becomes a problem. I feel DKB is thinking he's been sidelined mainly because, or only because, Kwame Dazi said he falls below so and so. But it's been timed. Or you are falling below ABC within a certain particular time, like VGM is saying, year under review. So for 2019, you might be Kojoentry, you might be Daddy Lumba, all respect to you. But for the year 2019, the Pandit and his boys did exceptionally well. You can't fight VGMA board for that. And if truly you look within, or you go through what has been happening within the year when it comes to comedy, Obi and Ponsan cannot be left out. His number 1 spot, if he's not there, DKB wants to be number 1. Has he done enough lately to be number 1? Is he the most sought after comedian as we speak? He's doing more event emceeing than comedy, if you ask me. He's on almost every major event stage as an MC and not a comedian. Has he played more comedy shows lately than the boys that Kwame Dazi has mentioned? Let's be real here. If he has, let's see it. Maybe Kwame Dazi would want to go back and reposition them. But as far as I'm concerned, I hear Obi killing more shows. I hear Lexi the comic killing more shows, organizing his own shows, and even Jacinta. You know, she's all over the place playing shows. So if these people are named as the guys to go to now when it comes to comedy, I don't see why DKB should be that angry. Your position will be given to you as in, you know, guy who fought for blah blah blah. But when it comes to the hottest guys now, is he part of them? You are even at number 3, for crying out loud. You are at number 3. Lexi has done a lot. Lexi falls number what? 4. You are above Lexi. It doesn't mean that because you are at number 3, those who are at number 1 and 2 are the best comedians we have in Ghana. They are the, you know, most visible as we speak. They are the most visible, the most sought after. It might not necessarily mean the best. You're getting me? We have high life artists doing a lot now who are so big, who are so loud, churning out good songs, but they might not necessarily be the best high life artists we have over some of the old ones that we have in our system. So when you see things like this and you get angry, you might be jumping the gun or killing an ant with a sledgehammer. I do not see why DKB should get so angry over a list that has stated that in recent times, these are the guys people are going for. Are they coming for him as a comedian? No. They are calling him more to come and MC programs. Christmas season, Onambebia, he could play about 3 shows a night as an MC. So if we're talking about current MCs for a certain period of time, not with Bema, you have every right to be angry because truly you have worked and we have all seen it. But when it comes to cracking jokes for people to laugh, having the microphone, being on stage, you know, churning out jokes for people to laugh, you are doing more comedy stuff on your Instagram, posting 2 minutes, 3 minutes video than you are on stage performing. You are still seen as a comedian, but you are applying the trade more on Instagram. That is not to say that can't be factored in. It can be factored in. But the truth is that your MC life has taken over your comedy life. Or he should tone down. I don't know what defense Kwame Dazi would want to give to this, but I think he doesn't have much to even defend. Okay. Because what you have read stipulates clearly the grounds, you know, upon of which selection. Of selection and why the people for at the position that they are. Number 9, Chemical, right? He is the guy you said is, you know, doesn't perform well, or he's not the one.
Have you finished?
Land of the rising sun and Pumalanga.
Okay, so let me go back to the phones where Kwame Dazi is there to defend his rating. Kwame Dazi. Now, Kwame, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, Zaniflex.
All right, great. Thank you so much. We've tried unsuccessfully many times to get to you, but now we are successful. Thank you for your time once again. Now, Kwame, how are you handling DKB's issue after your publication went out?
So, thank you very much. I believe that if you've been in this industry for a long time, having reactions, having people's reservations after your article or after publication of articles is not new. It wouldn't be the first time I would have somebody not agreeing to a list I've put out or an article I've written. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. I actually expected this to happen because when you do a list of people in a particular field with a criteria that is subjective to you and your team, you should have people come out to contest or not be happy about it.
I see. Now, should we also confirm from you that based on your rating from 1 to 10, it's not they are in order, as in the best from number 1 to number 10?
Exactly, it's in order from number 1 to number 10. That's exactly how we did it.
Okay. Now, DKB also posted what you wrote under his category. That is where he was placed, and I'm sure he was not happy with the place. That's why he actually retweeted, or he also commented on that particular point. He said that even though he had been named the king of comedy by Ace Satirist KSM, the new wave of comedy seems to have placed him below the aforementioned. I'm sure his anger comes from that particular place. How are you defending that?
I believe that particular portion of the whole article is a reflection of the entire article. It is not anything new from the entire article. If I place Obi at 1, I place Clemento at 2, and DKB at 3, and I go ahead to give you some information about DKB, who before the article was put together was known by everybody as the king of comedy. DKB has paid his dues in the comedy industry, especially in the stand-up comedy, and so we cannot take his name away from the comedy industry. KSM some time ago crowned him king of comedy. Even with that, some people had problems with it because they thought, why should somebody crown DKB king of comedy? But we all accepted that DKB had worked hard within that period, so he deserved to have been called the king of comedy. We have called him like that or by that name for some time now. But I believe that things are changing, things have changed, and the reason he didn't come tops at number 1 and Obi was number 1, Clemento was number 2 is the fact that there's been a new wave blowing in the comedy industry, and that perhaps may have dislodged him from that position of number 1 to number 3. And so it was just to throw more light on the fact that DKB, even though he's been there, he's been doing everything possible to push our comedy industry, isn't as big at the moment. And so if you look at my article, it's very, very clear from its title. At the moment, if you're calling or if you're looking for the hottest comedians in Ghana and you mentioned top 10, I'm not sure DKB will come tops. And he's my very good friend, I know. I write articles for him. I'm very sure even this weekend he will send me an article to publish for him. And so we're very good friends, and I was expecting this to happen. I knew some people would be happy, especially DKB. I know how he takes things. And so I'm not bothered at all. I only sought to let people know that these are the comedians plying the trade here in Ghana. And if anybody came to Ghana right now and he was looking for the comedy industry, as in people who are doing so well to project it, these are the people. You know, most times we have given so much attention to music, to movies, and other sectors of the industry, of the creative arts industry, without giving so much attention to comedy, to poetry, and the rest. So it is just in order to do an article like this to throw more light on what we're doing in the comedy industry here in Ghana. So I understand DKB where he's coming from. He will be peeved. He will not be happy. Anybody at all who would appear in a list and wouldn't be on top or wouldn't be where they desire to be wouldn't be happy about it. So that's more like an acceptable concern from him.
Now, initially, we were having concerns as to whether it is stand-up comedians or comedy. But reading the story, we realized that it is comedy because the placement of Mebusem and some other guys, we were still contemplating where they should be placed. Now, are you confirming that it is not only a reason for as in stand-up comedians, but for the general comedy industry?
Once again, Sammy, it is clear from the title of the article, top 10 comedians in Ghana at the moment. And so if you read the article, most of them, almost everybody who was mentioned in there, I specify what they do. If you look at DKB, for example, I specify as a stand-up comedian. He was also an MC, does a lot of programs as an MC. Chemical, for example, I mentioned that one as well. He's MC'd a lot of these comedy shows. And then if you go to Nebusem, I mentioned specifically what he does. So being a comedian, we have various branches, and it doesn't necessarily become a problem if you want to rate comedians as one. You can decide, somebody else can decide to do maybe just stand-up comedians, or maybe comic actors, or maybe social media comedians like those who do the skits and all that. But I decided to lump them together and then rate them. So that is exactly how I did it. And from the onset of the article, you could clearly tell that these are not people who belong to a particular genre of comedy like this, it's not comedy, but a general comedy industry. So basically, it's about everybody in the comedy space that I thought at the moment are the hot cake, if you like.
Now, Kwame, how many heads this compilation?
At Ghana Weekend, we have a team. You may see those of us who write, but there are people behind us who also contribute. And I must say, it wasn't a quantitative research that we did. It was a qualitative research, which means that it's been put together. It was put together by observation over a period, and so we observed the dealings, the happenings around these comedians, and we decided to put them together as in an article. So if you read the article, I mentioned the things that make them why they deserve to be there. And so you could see they performed at this show, at that show, what made them special, what made them unique, the cloud that they wield in the comedy space. And so each and every one in there has something peculiar or unique about them, or something special about them that places them there. And so it wasn't something that I personally sat down to do. We did it together. Some even disagreed. This person should go to number one. So there was an argument born out of individual observation over a period of time, and we came out with this one.
All right, Kwame, thank you so much. But I want you to be on the other side and hold on for DKB. We want to listen to what really his problems are before you leave us finally. So DKB is next on the line. Exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to boobay the story. And of course, it is now time for us to bring on DKB, Derek Kobnaboni, to get his problems really what they are and how best we can solve them. DKB, good morning.
Morning.
Big man, how are you doing today?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
How are you doing today?
How
are you doing today, big man?
You just messed up my day. And I've never experienced your show. I've never experienced such a thing from your show before. You really messed up my morning. I was woken up by producer Sophia Samoa, to tune into your show, and I've had one of the worst mornings ever.
What really caused this mess up? How did we do it?
Okay, I want to know the conversation that called for Arnold to be on the tangent that I am not happy about the ranking. What was the conversation about that I'm not happy that I've been put at number 3 comedian?
Yesterday around 5:46 p.m. your handle on social media put out a post.
Yeah, I wrote it. Yeah, fine. I'm saying, so how come the conversation? I want to know how the conversation became me not being happy about the ranking with number 2 or number 1 or number 3. I want to know how the conversation came about. So that I'm not happy.
So the conversation came out of the post you did on social media.
My post has nothing. It has nothing to do with position.
DKB, can I read what you put out, please?
It's my post. I know everything in it word for word. I didn't mention anything about position.
No, so
when you guys talking about position, I tuned in and Arnold was the one talking about position, and DKB is supposed to be happy at where he is. He's even at number 3. Position I will top, my brother.
DKB,
you think I care about position?
Hold it, bro, hold it.
Let me explain something to you.
That's why I called you. I want you to explain all the time that you want.
Sammy, it's my own post, so of course I'll be upset when words in my post are changed.
Changed by
what? Why?
Changed by who? Changed by who? Changed by who? Who changed the word?
By what I heard. That I'm complaining about position.
Okay, that's why I want to read it so you explain to us what you meant.
Okay, read it to me.
Now, you wrote that if I talk, they say DKB talks too much. But how can you, a journalist, not be objective in your submission and rather try to discredit me? What at all do some Ghanaians want from me? If you can't praise me without finding some stupid excuses, don't praise me at all. And you quoted a portion of the story, and you added that it has placed me below your mother. In fact, let me be plain here. And you added that Kwasiaba. You added Kwasiaba. So this tells us that you were not happy with your placement in the list put together by Ghana Weekend.
Wait. You see, what I spoke about is what you should talk about. You don't induce anything further. I didn't mention anything about position. These are the things that cause confusion in camps and in genres. I didn't mention anything about position. Really, do I care about rabbit nose of any position? Think about it, Sammy. I care.
I'm listening.
I've been put at number 9, number 10, so I care. So because of that, if I call my business friends, they won't pick because I'm at number 9. Think about it, Sammy. I never mentioned position. So why do you guys bring up position? for people to have the impression that, oh, yes, here the DKB has to number 3 or jealousy Obi or jealousy Lexi. It's grateful. Why are you guys doing this? I've never experienced DKB from Zylofon.
DKB, please hold on.
If you don't infer what it's not about.
It is not an inference, but it is an
inference, and it's a wrong one. That is why I am very concerned about it. You see, now you have said it. People are listening. Next thing, they meet my boys, tell they say KD boss is the Peter number 3, and then what happens? Bad energy develops among us. If let me tell you something. If I don't want these boys to go further, why would I put Lexi on my DKB live comedy tour when Tata House was not giving us platform 5 years ago? Why would I put him on my DKB live comedy tour at UCT when Lizzie and Mary X were performing? When I was doing my comedy tour because Tata House was not giving us platforms to perform. Why would I consistently put Lexi on my monthly comedy show, Comedy Express, for more than 3 years now? Why will I put Obi on the show? Why will I put Jacinta? Why will I put Chemical? If I don't want them to go further? Why will I be having conversation about Tata House that they need to put my voice on? And they put a series of them, sometimes 3 of them at the same time, sometimes 2, sometimes 4. And I even push for the younger ones like Putogo, MJ, Wallace. Why will I go and discuss Glow to put the upcoming Ghana boys on the Glow Laughter Fest? Where they lined up all the young boys, Wallace, MJ, Putogo, and Co. If I don't want them to develop, why will I do that? I'm the most selfless person you can find in my genre. All I'm saying is, don't discredit. I did my one-man show, point of view. I put every single GH comedian I know. Why would I do that if I don't want them to develop?
Okay, now DKB,
if I don't want them to also become great,
now DKB,
I'm coming. I'll get there.
You used to
relax. I'll get there.
Why did he discredit you?
I said I will get there. Relax.
Okay, cool.
Good. I'm getting what you guys said out of the place where I was concerned about position. And I'm saying that I'm asking all these questions because why would I put these boys on, put them on the spotlight, give them shine? Why would I push them out? Why would I defend them, be the bad person in the media if I don't want them to go forward? As a matter of fact, if I see all my boys from 1 to 9 and I'm at number 10, I would have been happy because I'll feel like a sugar daddy. Yes, I have helped them go far. But why do you mention petition when I've not mentioned petition? What I spoke about in my post is about discrediting and demeaning the name DKB. I am tired of it in this country.
Good.
Where everybody looks at an opportunity to drag me down. Recently, there's this guy at TV3, he's a presenter at TV3. He pissed me off so much. I don't know you from Jack. Then you go watch some comedy online about Ricky Gervais, a UK comedian hosting the Golden Globe. And then you come and write on your page. I just watched a very nice piece from Ricky Gervais. Very intelligent, good jokes. If he was that big-headed guy and he had tried it, of course, it wouldn't have been funny. Why? I say you, why? I say you, graphic showbiz. There's a lady there who hates me so much with passion. Decided to write the same story that Nana Kunedu says DKB is a boy comedian when the story is false. Why? Why does everybody want to drag DKB down? What have I done to people?
Okay, now DKB, because we are working with.
So wait.
At this stage, hold it for me. No, wait. DKB, you know I respect you so much. I'll give you all the time, but at this stage, hold it on for me because we are dealing with time. Yes, I know. I know you have a history, a whole lot of history.
Hello?
Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now, DKB?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Really.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Good. So I was saying that because of time, I can hear you. So let's continue. I'm saying that because of time, we have to just manage the time so we can go ahead for that. Now, what I want us to look at is you said
I'm outside. Wait.
Hello. Yes, you said you have been discredited. So now let's pay attention to where you were discredited, and after that maybe we can move on. Where were you discredited?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I quoted the question that a new wave of comedy puts in below. It puts me below the aforementioned rank. It puts me below the title TSM gave me. Like the title TSM gave me, the King of Comedy gave me. I'm supposed to at least do 20 comedy shows in the whole year, or at least I'm supposed to make 80% of audience members laugh, and I put it. I made 40% of them laugh. Therefore, it is below the affirmation. Why do you have to try as much as possible to go? You can't just praise people and move forward. Why do you have to try to use other people's work to fight me? That what the new wave of comedians are making me look like I am below the affirmation title. Why? It's your happiness that you are discrediting me. It's your happiness. You started article nicely, then you discredit at the last one. What do Ghanaians want from you?
Okay, so now DKB,
that was my concern. My concern is not about any position or like why do I declare a position if I help people? Why? When the political issue happened, when the political issue happened to Obi, ask him who called him to give him motivation. He really didn't want to catch up politics again. And I told him everybody can go and eat your food. They should get out. Go and do more of it. Put it in their faces. Let them tell me that you careless, you're a comedian. Put it in their faces. Next thing I know, he's doing political refugee. And I'm so happy about it. And I'll be going to support this coming weekend. So why do you have to say DKB is not happy about the boys' position when every single day I'm helping these boys develop? Why do you have to say that? I don't like it. Because it makes me look bad in the listener's eyes. Why? Everybody wants to destroy DKB.
Now DKB, this is where the point comes in. Unfortunately for us, this particular quotation where you've given to us, it came out, or it was derived out of the position you were placed. So the moment you talk about not liking it, then it means you don't like the position.
If I've written in my post that for all I've done for comedy, all the sacrifices, taking all the bullets, pushing the agenda, and you put on number 3, what do you mean? You think I don't deserve number 1 spot? You can talk about position. I quoted my worry. My worry was the details you put under my name.
Wait,
you talked about the fact that I've done that for comedy, and then KFM made me King of Comedy, blah, blah, but the new wave of comedy makes me fall below par. Hey, did you do any audition and I didn't impress you? Or you are worried about KFM giving me that title? That King of Comedy KFM are giving me, that people will not give me my peace of mind. Have you realized lately? I hardly mention it because I wanted to come and chop it. Anybody who is listening to me that is not happy about KFM giving me the King of Comedy title, don't worry, I don't want it. You are now the King of Comedy. Can I have a peace of mind now?
Yeah, you can, DKB.
Thank you. So those listening who are not happy about me being King of Comedy, they are the new kings of comedy, including the writer, because he says I fell below par, and I don't know how many jokes per second or what ratings he used for me to. It's so annoying that you want to discredit
according to the writers. At the moment, when it comes to ratings, Samiba, I want to be at number 5,000 for my voice to be 1 to 10. I don't care. It makes me happy. I'm not sacrificing for this comedy and pushing the boys day in, day out for them to be below my rating. They should be above. That's my happiness. Okay. All right.
Look, I've been a teacher before.
Yeah.
When I finished secondary school, I was a people's teacher. And one thing I learned about being a good teacher, which GES taught me when they come for their routine appraisal and report, they made us understand that a good teacher is the one whose student passes his exam. But we had had to block this concept about being a good teacher, that yes, if they fail your course is hard, you're a good teacher, you're an idiot. That's what GES made me understand So since day one, when I was teaching my kids, my happiness was the fact that more than 50% of the class was passing. So if I've had this mindset, after 2004, when I became a pupils teacher, after finishing St. John, my pupils would be just a year after I had written SSC. And I was teaching some of them have 3 children and 4. I don't know how fertile they are. They are just born in like that. See, I've had this concept. And I'm now into comedy. I'm promoting comedy. You think I don't want these boys to go far? So what do I care about ranking? Put me on number 1,000 and put OD next to that.
Now, DKB, it is obvious. It is obvious. You have so many bitterness in you based on past events.
You see, so many people have tried so many times to discredit me, like paulsghana.com. Now, I mention names because I have the fact. Paul, right after I finished my one-man show and the story really came out, the KSM Crowns DKB King of Comedy. Paul, a Nigerian platform. You mind your business. You want to discredit a Ghana comedian. They claim they went to the street to do a survey, and the street says, no, DKB is not a king of comedy. It's on Google, you can go and search right now. DKB is not a king of comedy. People are saying DKB is not a king of comedy. And guess what? They say Foster deserves king of comedy. So look at this you are doing. They want to bring confusion among the two of us.
All right.
Paul Ghana did that.
Well noted. Well noted. Our time is up, DKB. Our time is maybe.
No, your time is up.
I can even do more with you. So if you have time,
so for me,
DKB.
Last 2 words. I am not happy. I'm not happy about people discrediting me. And 2, my aim is to let these comedy boys go higher. Okay. So I don't care about position.
All right, we will do the same at the other side. Maybe at the right time you will get DKB in the studio for us to continue. But then previous events really put some kind of bitterness in DKB. Therefore, whoever talks about him and his contributions in the comedy industry and you don't say it well, in fact you re-evoke all the past events and it makes him feel some way. I know. Kofi Asamoah, Kofi, let's be wrapping up.
Same Banflex.
I hear you hinted DKB that he should.
He's my brother. DKB.
Why was something going wrong?
Oh no. Say once.
Are you now the producer of the show?
Oh, I am a co-producer of the show.
Okay, because my producer had done that job already, so I don't know your business hinting him again.
He's my friend.
Okay, that's okay. That's
Madam
okay. Now his rants and his worries, his disappointment, is he really on a good path?
Sammy, him say DKB son okasa say onya depression kakra say be fracture. I saw how kwadanda amani hu ne oyawa titi bi da no so
yaw bi shelimu
and yet same frau friend in ya so to papa so
that want to papas obetre the ntia na ninji
in some ken nyina no same it's just about where he was positioned. I don't know if DKB was expecting to use the word position. But in Yama, all the rantings he's doing, it's position. If the article says emphatically, say the new whip of comedy places him below the aforementioned, and then you say that is where your problem is, then your problem is position. Your problem is why the writer is saying that the new whip has put you at a certain level. It is in command DKB the area say no comasa. It's neither here nor there. And DKB so nyabutre, so relax. As all pray. And the idea that DKB thinks everybody hates him is too much. Sabi onye onunko ani obi okrom ha ye tro no ho nsam bone. And then bibia obeti na obi ya no anyway she say look at the number of bloggers in this country, number of news companies in this country. That's about actual asema. Uncle Yamo, do you even have to come and talk about it? And you should learn from this young crop of comedians. They are focused. DKB, stay focused. You are doing well. When stand-up comedy in this country was going down, Sammy DKB was one of the people. In fact, he was the only one who was doing stand-up against all odds. He didn't tell me he's not funny, but he stood to his grounds and he did well. What you say? We can't say on your funny DKB no on your senior Sammy. he stood with us. And when Newama comedy, stand-up comedy in Ghana, Abeyede. And then boys seen AAB. He should know that he's being recognized. When the history of stand-up comedy in this country is being written, his name can never be taken out. Into only apriski samno non tunubu. Because DKB thinking that everybody hate him. You're trying one into the if you are not doing something right, or if you're not doing something correct, that is when nobody would even want to talk about it. But so first you're doing something right, not everybody would laugh at your jokes. DKB should understand that. In some cases, I mean, okay, he was just repeating himself in different ways. I don't care about position. You care. If you didn't care,
the quotation he even
gave
was derived from the position he was placed.
Because okay, Sammy, it is not about position. DKB, what else is it about? He said you are not happy. The guy is saying that a new whipper, if he can't praise you without it. He praised you. He said that you are the king of comedy. He praised you and just said that though you are the king of comedy, the new whip, it means that there's a certain criteria based on which you are falling. It is higher. So it means that big DKB either two things. I'm the so casual people's teacher. I wanna make question because people's teacher, people's teacher pay wako shapona or for some from say the because no. Below the belt
yes. DKB they brought for some or brought for papa.
Brought to me but until I said I thought they were actually. So I mean 2 different things. But for sure, I never found a different. Because okay, one tears tea.
One tears and quite the who say how many problem was.
I'm not saying you're not sure I'm quarantine because when say open side say, let me read it to you. I for say read it to me. As a Chinese saying, okay, children, say you said that the new whip has placed me below your mother. So it means that's how below, and no any problem no. And it is position. Any position at DKB, there require money. A position. Oh yes, sir. And that's how we know my boys are putting that. And then the boys are also helping you. DKB should not sit there and be talking as if he's helping the boys. It's not a one-side thing. The boys are helping you. The boys are giving your comedy show relevance. As much as you are helping them, they are also helping you because they are the ones that are now getting the following. They are getting the buzz. It is why did I put this person? It is good. As a father, as a senior man in the industry, it is good that you are doing something like that. You are moving with your boys. But he should also credit the boys. He doesn't want to be discredited. But he's not telling us what influence, positive influences these boys have on his career and his comedy shows as well. DKB onyabutre me pena sempa and then me nyama say me dino too but onyabutre
guys but so why did you even call him? Why did you alert him?
Say me person tie dey making who say o ka say nyame ka cho say kamani nyina so no tie because I mean
so you alerted him to insult him?
Oh me di kan catch him say me dino too and
Jai, you're on radio. Don't speak like that. Don't speak like that. Thank you, CEO of Kofas Media, Kofi Asamoah. Thank you. Jose,
creative director.
Oh, you are the creative director of Kofas Media. Who is the CEO?
I'm the CEO and creative director.
The CEO and creative director. Yeah. Thank you. Leave my mic for some minutes.
We're talking about position.
Arnold, you want to say something?
Don't discredit Kofi.
DKB was not happy with you too, but
I'm saying Arnold share conversation as no. Now we be some question because I mean now we can say guy back home performing here.
Arnold take over.
On the media swam,
I thought you were a good brother. No, but let's be honest. These are the things you guys do, and DKB will not be happy. I beg you.
DKB there, he's fighting us on air and off air. What's up?
What do you want to add?
DKB, if it the number 3, no be the problem.
But he says it is not a position.
No, that is the problem. I mean, DKB wants us to see like I'm not happy with number 3 before we know it's the position. At DKB, we are as wise as you. So it's not as if we don't know what we're talking about. Your case is that you've been placed below certain people.
No, he says that is not his problem.
But that is his problem.
The aforementioned.
No, if you don't know your problem, then you have a bigger problem.
If you don't know
your problem, you have a bigger problem. His problem is the position. I don't think if, after all what Kwame Dazi said, he still came number 1, he would have a problem. I don't think so. So the number 3 is the issue. And I'm saying you shouldn't even have a problem for being at number 3 because you haven't done much lately when it comes to your own field. Yes, putting the guys on and so on and so forth, like Kofi said, is, symbiotic. You benefit, they benefit from you.
Yeah.
So it's not as if it's just you doing them good. They're doing you good too. But the big brother role, you still have it. Like I said, those who helped stand-up comedy, you, Foster Romanus, and David Oscar, these 3 guys, you did what you had to do. But today, the moment, maybe the big-headed guy, what's his name? Obi Aponsa. Obi Aponsa and Lexi and co.
So on the flip side,
yes,
don't you also think that when journalists also start doing this kind of rating, that is where the hatred creeps in?
No, he was rather pushing the hatred agenda. When he came to speak, he was placing more emphasis on, and the boys will start acting funny and they'll start saying this and they'll start saying that. Meanwhile, in my submission, I never mentioned anything about somebody thinking he's better than you. As a matter of fact, I even went on to explain that you could have somebody being at number 1 position now. It doesn't mean that the person is the best. And I explained with the Daddy Lumbers and co, using the high life example, that you could have a crop of very talented high life artists now who will be taking all the number 1, number 2 spots, but might not necessarily be the best high life artists we have. But for the moment, they are carrying the day, and you need to give it to them. So when you come on the line in a bit to explain what we have said that you think is balderdash, and you rather pay attention to the boys being me and me better, way asan, you are rather pushing that into their heads.
Okay.
The list never said that. Right. Nobody here also said that. You are rather paying attention to that.
All right. Thank you so much, Arnold Mason Levanyo. Now, Roland, Event Guide Africa. He says, a little education, please. Good morning, Brasami. I somehow disagree with Arnold when he says DKB's MC Life has taken over his comedy life because Comedy Express is a monthly comedy show headlined by DKB and there has never been a flop. Likewise, Lexi the Comic with Laugh Line, which is also monthly and climaxing. So far, comedians with the highest appeal in terms of headlining a successful event, regardless of how hot they may seem, we have Lexi the Comic, DKB, Obi Amponsa, Foster Romanus, Clemento Suarez, Stage Play, and the list continues.
So after all, we didn't get the tail. The head, we got it.
Roland. Roland is my guy. Let me spare him this one. He's my guy. Yeah. I want to do course. Brother, man for can be impatient anytime.
It is sad that DKB is feeling bitter over this whole issue. Let's be sincere.
Roland is laughing. Roland is talking. One kuni. Why I say your friend is Mr. Michael? Meku. Munyami. Be need your body blower. Okay. Yanko, Jabril.
It's sad that DKB is feeling bitter all over.
Charlie.
This whole issue.
But maybe me understand him to some level.
But okay. Brasami. Or Yenejuma as a comedian. Kwame Dazi or GH Weekend almost or Mujuma as writers and journalists, right? So I don't see the reason why they shouldn't bring such rankings out. First of all, personally, and me, if I was the one writing or if I was the one who wrote that, let's be sincere, DKB wouldn't have gotten that particular position he had.
The 3.
Yes. You see?
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand. You go ahead.
You see, Kwame Dazi mentioned that they had a group or it was a discussion and then they had to go back and forth due to some criteria they what had
considered. Yeah,
exactly. And so yes, he had his point. He made it clear. Now DKB coming in to tell me that he's not bothered about the list. He's not bothered about the list.
The position. He's not bothered about the position.
And he's bothered about the discrediting. Like discrediting here at the end.
Telling people that he's now below some guys.
Is it not the truth?
No, to him it is not the truth.
It is not the truth.
Yes.
To him.
Yes.
Inti ono nipa bakono. So far Kofi Asamoah has sat here. Arnold has sat here. I've just said it. Kwame Dazi has said it. A lot of people who have read that article and commented have also said that look, really the whip no. Our person no. He has really gotten that whip. See, last year, if you want to look at visibility, the OB guy, Lexi, see, MJ, Warris, these guys have well, Hogan, yes, he was more into corporate stuff. These guys, over the years, over the whole 2019, have been able to fix themselves at places that people have seen them. DKB was all over on Instagram, only commenting on people and trends.
That is
Selassie Chantel.
That is not a fair comment. That is not a fair comment. Now Instagram is also one media platform. That's regarded.
No, listen.
If you say he's always on Instagram commenting on trends, I'm saying it is not a fair comment because it is one area that even when it comes to rating, people still consider what numbers you have there.
But then you can also say that Arnold's points were saying that the MC, you can also come and
you know DKB is being called to MC event because of his comedian position.
Exactly. So why is it that when Arnold said you didn't come into pitch?
No. He said that at the moment he's doing more MCing than hitting comedy stages.
It's still the same thing.
No, it is not.
Because the guy is focusing on Instagram.
No.
And Twitter.
No.
He's not going. I'm not seeing him. I'm not seeing the visibility on stage.
Okay, continue.
I am not seeing it. And so if I am the one who am not seeing it and I'm writing, I would find a place to put him. And which is going to be below.
Okay. So in your case, if you are to do it, he'll not even get number 3.
DKB would have even been out of my list because the whole of 2019 I didn't see him.
Because you are not finding out well.
Really?
Yes, he does shows every month.
Fine.
And none of his shows has flopped.
Yes.
Even during the Christmas season, he was the only comedian who did a show tagged Year of Return. And he succeeded.
So how come I didn't see it? Because I've also been on social media.
Because you are not searching well.
No. Because you are
being a bad journalist.
No. How did I see Lexi?
Wait.
How did I see Lexi's laugh line?
Hold it. I did not go to the comedy show DKB organized.
Yes.
But I read online. It was published on almost all the respectable platforms.
I also didn't go to Lexi's laugh line.
Yes.
And I've also heard that he has made it. So how come I heard his own and I didn't hear DKB?
Because you did not read wide.
How? Why wouldn't I? If I didn't read wide, why would I get Lexi's own? If I didn't read wide, how did I hear Lexi's own? How did I hear that OB had a show?
No, I said you did not read wide.
It shouldn't be only DKB. You used to tell me that I didn't read wide. I've been able to mention 4 consistent people that I have been able to read wide to know about them. Why DKB?
He didn't read wide.
That is because he's not doing his work.
Oh no.
Yes.
You see. I think that the bottom line should be that.
Look, the bottom line is that DKB should put temperaments down.
Okay.
And deal with issues.
Yes. See, I want you to even say that more than he did not do much.
Yes.
He is bitter.
Yes, he is so bitter. And I've mentioned
because looking at all the history he was bringing back.
You can imagine
graphic showbiz, the
pause Nigeria.
It means all the time he's keeping all these things in him. It is weighing him.
And not that the depression
and allow him to put all out.
No, things like that. Then he should create a podcast on SoundCloud and be doing it to help him because never be saying it brings depression. The mind. When you read those things,
that is why he goes to the gym every day.
No, but if you are going to the gym and you are gymming and you are not still gymming the mentality you are getting, it is you are not making it.
Get off my microphone, Jibril. That I have got take over. Yes, that I have got. The rating, do you think that is why DKB is peeved?
Sorry. I think I followed the story from yesterday evening. I read bits and pieces from Kwame Dazi's timeline, and Clemento Suarez he commented and said, "Please take my position and put him in my position."
When DKB said that?
No, yes, when Kwame Dazi posted what DKB posted, like Clemento wrote under the post
that he take his position and put DKB there.
Yes, I think Clemento also had the same mindset that maybe it is the position. You know,
Clemento Suarez really responded that way.
Yes, I saw it.
That is,
and for me, I think that I support everything that Arnold said. You know, we have, when it comes to entertainment, we have hottest artists, we have great artists, we have hottest artists. Usually the hottest artists are the ones that are very visible in that particular moment, you know. So once they are visible, if everybody talks about that genre, they are obviously going to go for those who are hot. You know, today Daddy Lumba is one of the greatest musicians our land has ever seen. How many stages does he grace? Simply because people think that there are hottest artists. So when you mention the hottest artists, everybody, or when you mention artists who are doing well, people are going to go for the hottest artists. So for me, I think that maybe Kwame Dazi wrote it per the year under review. You know, he looked at the year under review. We all know that Obi has been very visible. You know, now when we talk about comedy, everybody will first off mention the name of Obi Amponsa, simply because he has mounted giant stages. You know, with the controversy that hit him and all, it's giving him a lot of mileage. You know, we've seen him go to Nigeria for events and things like that. So everybody's going to mention him. So for me, I think Kwame came from that angle. And then when you read the story, you know, he said that despite DKB being the king of comedy, it means that he's trying to say that maybe everybody is expecting me to put DKB at number one, but I am not putting him there because of recent happenings. So I think that, you know, fair game to Kwame. On DKB's hand, I didn't really capture it. Looks like he's bitter, but yes, I didn't really get to understand where the bitterness is coming from. Maybe he also has a genuine case. He thinks that, you know, people blows things that he says out of proportion, out of the way, and it makes him look a bad person. And so he's also trying to defend his stuff. But for me, I don't see anything wrong with what Kwame put out, because artists come and go. You know, for the VGMA 2020, if we're going to choose the best rapper and somebody gives it to Strongman because of what happened between him and Medical, it's fair game to him. But Strongman is not a better rapper than Obrafo. You get what I mean? Simply because Obrafo is not hot today. But Obrafo wouldn't come and fight and say that, why did you give the best rapper to Strongman? Because he knows that he's not hot now, but he's a giant artist. So for me, fair play to both sides, but I don't think that we should make even issue out of this. I think fair game to Kwame.
All right, thank you so much. That I have cool. Big man, have you found your voice now?
Yes, my voice has come.
Okay, good. Then wrap up for me. Hey, you have not spoken yet, Mr. Che. Me pacha munya me focus. I beg you. Na dey say me focus kakra. Yeah. No. Say something still. Wrap up. You started. You did not finish. So finish.
Mwanti DKB ase.
What's saying?
Mwanti na ase.
Ne how ne saying?
Sofu be preaching one day, and in a bit to gesticulate, you know, and okobo bi asum. What I say? Nipa no de share or apologize here, but nipa no eda ne ho so. Oh, enti sofu no ya ben no na wa trinity. What I say? Ohun sofu ni
for another slap.
For another slap. Say owaka oda. Ohun so na ede.
Udwane.
Me da say. DKB has been chesting or stomaching these kind of things. And that is where I fault him, because for a celebrity of his caliber, no, you should know, say, these things come with the territory. You shouldn't be going on social media looking at what people are reading about you. Ombisa Samuajan, Ombisa Michael Essien, they all tell you, said they never go on social media, they never listen to radio, because these things come with the territory. And you should know that you don't take these things to heart. What did I say? Because I mean, it will demoralize you. Obi oha onemu from Adam, but he will just say something. And now with the advent of the social media, no, Masa obi to be to make bibia. Now, if you have to listen and assimilate all these things, you'll be creating depression for yourself. Now, because of, I mean, against that background, enti ohun salai na ochi free kwame does the article numuna sal ohun ya, he thought it was one of those things. Oh, as to throw no buy, you know. Ohun say, like I say, DKB used to be the king of comedy, but see, and he has fallen below. That's the whole import of the whole thing. And you can say, oh, these are the haters at work again. They feel that I couldn't maintain my kinship. Oh, so they are coming back at me again because DK.
So let me fight back.
You know, that's the whole thing. It's not about so much about the position as a third position on pay, as he said, no. But the whole importance say wadane hunso a man for can wasem, and unfortunately he has taken them to heart, which he shouldn't. What he has said to whom be sad, or can say was one of those things. But clearly, I mean, he's paid his dues. He has his following. He has some good things going for him. He has fought, you know, for the stand-up comedy in Ghana, and we give him that respect. He should big up himself.
Thank you so much. And after Mr. Kobiche, you guys will get on the lines 0266 660 735 and again 0500 000385. Big man.
Yes, Arnold and Kofi and the rest have touched on the article, and I mean around the article, but let me tone a different direction. I think that I followed DKB a bit, and for me, anyone who will say he's not funny, sometimes I doubt. And you see, anytime I'll be a show, be a Sunkrofoko. Anytime
full house.
And Brass, I mean, 90% of the people who even say DKB is not funny don't even attend his concert or his shows. 90%.
I think there is also a great point.
DKB is not funny. And DKB and our Ghanaian comedians generally cry DKB and Ghanaian comedians are not funny. You ask them, have you attended? Have you? Because honestly, being a stand-up comedy will be different from maybe all bad social media, maybe addressing something in a short video.
Yeah.
And Ghanaians expect so much that because maybe people say he's king of comedy, you know, or yes, short video cry or addressing issue, training issue, they expect him to like do something like something wow. It might not necessarily be his fault. So when I read comments under his post, and you're not funny. Now Bisamo say, so how many of these people have attended his concert? Let's be smart enough to say, okay, one day, this is the person that I am dating or I'm trolling on social media saying he's not funny. Let me just take 50 cedis and go and support him or visit his comedy show.
His shows are not even up to 50 cedis.
Yes,
sometimes 30, sometimes 40.
So why don't we take the mantle? We as and this, I'm advising those people on social media. You scaffy bottom so okay. They be a moon social.
Me record me
yes.
So me we are my judge, you know.
And Oko and Crawford said the dead that forms into no more say and our Ghanaian comedians are not funny and DKB is not funny. The shows, they should pay and go and witness these guys doing amazingly well for the comedy industry. Again, I had the opportunity to work with DKB and I realized I understand sometimes all the emotions at the and I'm pleading with my senior brother. Himself, he's listening to me. Sometimes he be and I'll be reactive to social media. I say be na or reactive be and more. Sometimes it be bad. Just so far as it doesn't affect the pocket, the income. I know. I mean, himself. When you be an to me, I I catch up with maybe a bad energy. But I will encourage my brother say in 2020, those bad energy when it comes around the Twitter handle on Instagram now, you should just ignore.
Good.
You should just ignore. And maybe an issue, but no, I react to issue, but and people they said they are in interview like from past days from those things.
And they must
see, Brother Derek, finding na chain and concentrate on the positive things. Who post on YouTube, and Twitter, people like the people laugh. You see people laughing.
Yeah.
So why don't you channel those energy in the people who love you, those who comment and say DKB you are good, you are king of comedy. Channel those energy to them.
Pay attention to those people.
Pay attention to those people who are saying the positive things that will, you think that will ginger your energy.
And leave the negative ones.
The negative people. So far, it is not affecting anything on this side, like money wise. Because honestly, DKB is not funny. No, I don't have the day you book or you show or you show. Say Ebia on yesterday called original cracker comedy crana or MC na. So yes, Kakrona. Why are we all suffering?
That's true.
King of comedy, and also on a part. King, who did he? I'm did who to meet your rent. I'm to meet your rent, and you're that.
Wow.